Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly fascinating comparative analysis of two absolute titans of pop music, Michael Jackson and Bruno Mars. But hey, right off the bat, I want you to adjust your expectations a little bit. We are throwing out simple record sales, we're ignoring chart positions. Instead, we're diving deep into what true historic success actually looks like in the music industry. The source material for today's explainer immediately hooks us by drawing a really firm line between two concepts, fame and impact. You see, true success in pop music isn't just about having everyone know your name today. I mean, that's fame, right? Real success is about impact. It's that rare power to literally shape an era and, even more importantly, the power to outlive it. Now, at first glance, grouping these two guys together feels completely natural. They're both electrifying global stars, and they command a crowd's attention with just pure charisma and showmanship. Fun fact here, they both even started as child prodigies. We've got Michael in the Jackson 5 and Bruno as a tiny 4-year-old Elvis impersonator. They are undisputed hitmakers cut from a very similar, incredibly talented cloth. But if we look closer, the author's central thesis starts to reveal itself. These aren't merely two highly successful artists running in the exact same lane. No, they represent two completely different historical scales of achievement. Part 1, The Modern Master, Bruno Mars. So, to really understand Mars, we have to look at his unbelievable achievements within today's hyper-saturated music industry. He is incredibly polished, dynamic, and versatile. The man sings, he dances, and he performs with this effortless charm that just commands audiences all over the world. And because of that undeniable talent, he completely dominates modern charts and streaming platforms. But here's where it gets interesting. The analysis categorizes his brilliance in a very specific way. It doesn't paint him as some radical revolutionary. Rather, he is a master craftsman. He completely dazzles audiences through sheer discipline, joyfully reimagining genres like funk, soul, disco, and pop with absolute dazzling skill. And then the scale changes. We're going to shift our focus away from the modern master and look toward the monumental scale of a legendary legacy artist. Part 2. The Cultural Earthquake, Michael Jackson. The source is super firm in its perspective here. Jackson wasn't merely successful, the guy was monumental. He didn't just release music, he created massive global events. Actually, the text deliberately avoids calling records like Thriller, Bad, and Dangerous ordinary albums. It calls them cultural earthquakes. Thriller, in particular, became this absolutely unique symbol of global pop supremacy. Now, what makes this dominance truly historic is how it was achieved. He did it entirely without streaming, without social media, and with zero viral marketing algorithms. His influence spread like wildfire through radio, television, physical records, and just sheer, unfiltered public fascination, way before the invention of our modern digital tools. Because of that, Jackson stands almost entirely alone in his cultural influence. I mean, he literally transformed the music video from a cheap promotional clip into high art. He broke deeply entrenched racial barriers on MTV. He made movement and music completely inseparable. Just think about the moonwalk for a second. Even today, that single dance move instantly summons his name across generations and continents. It's wild. Part 3. Different musical worlds. Okay, so to fairly contextualize these massive but very distinct successes, the author explains we actually have to separate them. On one side, we have Bruno Mars' domain, the digital age. This is an era of instant access, endless content, and highly fragmented audiences. On the other side is the age of mass media, which Jackson totally ruled. That was a time when capturing the world's attention meant capturing millions of imaginations all at once. Listen, both are extraordinary, but capturing a unified global imagination, that just carries a fundamentally different historical weight. Part 4. Mastery versus myth. So the author distills this entire comparison down into two incredibly powerful concepts. The first is mastery. This is defined as the polished, disciplined, and joyful reimagining of musical genres by an exceptional modern superstar. And honestly, this perfectly encapsulates Bruno Mars. He is a consistent, brilliantly gifted master of entertainment and undoubtedly one of the absolute finest of his generation. Now contrast that directly with the second concept, myth. A myth is a monumental force that creates spectacles, redefines popular culture, and fundamentally changes what music can be. This right here is Michael Jackson's legacy. He doesn't just represent a generation. His deeper influence makes him one of the defining entertainers of all time.
Which leads us to the author's powerful final judgment. Quote, "He did not merely succeed within popular music, he changed what popular music could be." Jackson didn't just play the game at the highest level, you guys. He fundamentally changed the board. And that is exactly why he remains the greater historical phenomenon.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. But I want to leave you with this really provocative question, directly inspired by our source material today. In today's highly fragmented digital age, with our endless streams of content and the total lack of a shared mass media campfire, is it still possible to create a cultural earthquake? Are we ever going to see another myth? Or is mastery the ultimate peak of the modern era? Definitely something to think about the next time you put on your headphones. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.